Scotty always has a checklist, Lance said. He wants to hit on stuff that we talked about throughout the week that I didn't have time to get reps on. A lot of different throws and a lot of different reps. It's great for me, and I'm thankful for him that he's able to do that for me pregame. Here's the kicker right here. I get a great workout, and I have his eyes on me the entire time.
What does that mean to you?
I get a great workout, and I have his eyes on me the whole time. I thought that was, because clearly you're the third quarterback. It's like being the 13th guy in the NBA. Like, you're going to get your pregame warm-up. You're going to be soaked, right? You might even shower before the game. If you tell me a lot of third-string quarterbacks around the NFL that do, like, get a legit thing in or soaked, shower, especially on a cold game, 100%. You don't want to be out there in the sweat when you're just standing. You're getting a shower-level workout. To me, that one kind of brewing elephant in the room with Trey Lance with the 49ers. One thing Kyle always did a good job publicly is like professing his love and acting like they had a good relationship. And Trey never said anything or anything ever leaked that got weird. One thing was clear, that when they drafted Brock Purdy, and Kyle's been on record saying this, that was a project for, I think, Slowick and Griese. And those guys were pounding the table. But it felt like specifically Griese loved Brock Purdy. Like, that was his guy. And then that guy became the player, and then he became the starter. We're all human beings. And Brian Griese would not be the first, wouldn't be the last, and they're probably all over the NFL and college football right now that have a favorite player in the room, regardless of where the guy was recruited, how much the guy signed for. I mean, there's a decent chance the San Diego Chargers DB coach despises J.C. Jackson, despite him being one of the richest guys in the and finally got his way out. Told you, keep making him inactive, right? I think that him saying eyes on me the whole time is what we knew. They had moved on mentally. We can debate when it happened. You know where I feel. I think that's saying, like, my position, no one even looked at me. And I think that starts with Brian. Because in fairness, Kyle is kind of looking at everybody.
They stopped coaching me, and I needed coaching. They stopped helping me, and I needed help.
But don't you feel like that's specifically the position coach? Or do you think that's
yeah, he's talking about Scotty. I mean, no, he's saying he has to, you understand the head coach's job is not that, but that is the position coach's job. That's what he's saying. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's saying, thank you for giving me what I need because I wasn't getting it the other place. Or they stopped giving it to me at the other place.
It'll come out one day, but I think, and listen, it's hard in these situations, but there's a reason guys get cut, guys get traded. They don't like you as a player, right? They don't think you're good enough. They don't want to coach you. They don't like you in their scheme. They just don't want you there. It doesn't mean a lot of players that you like personally, you have to move on from. It's what makes the business of football in college or pro, but specifically pro, very, very difficult because it's human to human. These aren't widgets. You're not selling fucking calculators or computers. You're dealing with a human being. And I wonder if Brian Griese just thought he was not a very good quarterback. In all his years of playing quarterback, being around quarterbacks, being around football from, I would imagine, the day he was born. So it just didn't think he was very good.
And he got a lot of
I'll get back to, and I don't know if I think I've said this before on the podcast. I knew a guy that interviewed for the job that Brian got, which might have been a rig deal too, that said Kyle was actually very positive, and this was, again, 2 years ago. So going into the year Trey was going to start, and this would have been, could be a little off on the timeline, January of 2022, mid to late January, early February or something in that world. So well before OTAs or whatever, that Kyle was bullish on Trey. I would say in football, things change fast, though.
Yeah, and they change based on your options. If you only got one guy, and he did at the time only have one guy, like he had to be all in on that, right?